Diane in Denmark here, I hope you're finding well today. What's the video today? Last minute meal ideas, which will hopefully be helpful to you and also fun. Now this is the second in the series that I'm doing with my friend Steph, who's a secret slob. We started last month and we made a little intro video where Steph introduced herself and I introduced myself. Some of you found Steph through me and some of you found me through Steph. So if you missed that, I'll put the link up there. It was a really fun to hear about each other because you know we're making these videos on YouTube, but maybe you don't know which corner of the world we live in and what we like to do in our spare time. Anyway, as I said, that's over there. Today we are bringing you our last minute meal ideas because the Flylady focus for the month is menu planning, and I know a lot of you are doing really well with that. I've talked about menu planning before, plenty of tips, but we've all been in that situation where suddenly you can't get out to the shops, you can't get out to the store, maybe you've had to go to the emergency room with your child and you know your plans have just gone upside down. So we're going to be giving you our last minute meal ideas, and I'm going to grab a few things from my pantry, from my drawer where I keep all my kind of canned and tinned goods, rice, stuff like that, things from the fridge and also things from the freezer, and I'll show you what I do when I'm in a real pickle. So anyway, let's go with the first one and let me just grab something. Right, let's start with those cans that you probably have lying in your pantry somewhere. Beans, chopped tomatoes, coconut milk. What are you going to do with them? Well, I like to go 2 or 3 ways with these. With the beans, I can always make a very simple chili. You know, I use the beans and a tin of beans, chickpeas, whatever I've got. A tin of canned tomatoes. If you've got any spices, chili spice, maybe add in an onion if you've got one of those lying around. Just a very, very simple chili. And you can serve some rice on the side. We have that really often. And if you want to make it fancy, and then maybe you've got some grated cheese and tortilla chips that you can break up on the top. And the other way that I like to go with especially the cans of beans, is making a curry. Now we love curries in our house. We love Indian curries and we love Thai curries. So in that case, I would take some of the beans, or you can also make a really good curry just with potatoes, or maybe if you've got some pumpkin left over from Halloween. Potatoes, onion, and we'll make a curry and just add, say, a can of coconut milk if you're going down the Thai route with a Thai curry paste. Oh, there we are. And otherwise, if you're doing an Indian curry, you don't need the coconut milk, just some curry powder, and I'd probably, if you've got a stock cube, add one of those. And again, it'll give you a very simple meal that you can serve to the family. Oh, and the last thing with good old tin tomatoes, I've shown you before, I've got a whole playlist of very simple recipes and Danish crafts. I'll put the link up there. And I showed you how I make my mum's minestrone soup, which is basically tin tomatoes and also other things from the pantry. So if you want to make a soup instead, add in some pasta or some rice, the link is up there. Anyway, let me grab some items from the fridge and I'll show you what we make in the last minute from fridge items. Okay, a few items from our fridge. We are in Denmark, so we have a lot of Danish bacon. We have bacon that's already chopped up, ready to use. If you can get it, this stuff is the real McCoy. You can slice it as thick as you like and fry that. That's what we're for. Anyway, if you're in a pinch, this stuff is great. And I've always got eggs and onions. So one of the things that we often make, and it's not even a kind of last minute meal, it's something that we enjoy, is called Brændende Kærlighed. Danish classic, it's called Burning Love. I've made a video about it before. I'll put the link up there to the recipes playlist. But basically what it is a lot of fried bacon, a lot of fried onions, and you serve it on a bed of mashed potato. Now if you've got potatoes hanging around, great, you can use those. You can also go the fast route if you've got some instant mashed potato in your pantry. Just a wee fun fact, not all instant mashed potato is created equal. I found out when I was working at the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg, we had a case about mashed potato. And I discovered then that some mashed potato is made of kind of weird ingredients and weird chemicals. Another mashed potato is basically dehydrated potato, and then you add in the boiling water from the kettle and mix it up. So if you're going to be buying instant mashed potato, just kind of check the side of the box and make sure it's one of the better ones. And the other thing that we also always have in our fridge are eggs. I mean, you can go any ways with eggs. You can make a frittata. Maybe there's some other veggies that need used up in the fridge. You can make an omelette. You can even just have a boiled egg. Anyway, on to the next thing, and I'm going to take a few items from the freezer. So let's grab those. Okay, a few items from the freezer. You may want to, the next few weeks, just start buying a few things to add to your freezer, so that, if suddenly you're stuck, you've got something to work with. I'm going to go with the obvious ones. First, ready meals. We're not serving those every day, but when you're in a pinch, it's fantastic to have some of those. These are Danish ones. It's chicken in a pastry case. So those are handy. Also ubiquitous frozen pizza. Okay, not the sexiest of meals, but if you've got some things extra in your fridge, you can add a few more toppings to it. You've got a bag of salad in your fridge. One of our favourite things to have in the freezer, meatballs. Now these are the ones, I get ours at IKEA. IKEA also have the veggie balls these days, so if you're vegetarian, maybe you want to get yourself a bag of those. And I love these. I use them in all different things. I use them to make boller i kai, which is Danish for balls in curry. I've made a video about that. I'll put a link up there. Also, if I'm needing to put something in the crock pot, before I go off for the day, I take my crock pot or my instant pot on the slow cooker function. I put a jar of spaghetti sauce on the bottom of the crock pot, and then put in the meatballs, and when I come home, all I need to do is make some mash or some pasta, and we're good to go. And the other thing that I often have in our freezer are bags of mixed veggies. Let me just put that back. These are great, again, if you're making the curry that I was talking about, just with some curry paste and a tin of the coconut milk. I mean, it just makes it a very, very simple curry. And again, I also make that quite often in the crock pot. I put in a bag of veggies, coconut milk, maybe a stock cube, and you're good to go for the rest of the day. And was that from the fridge? Yeah, oh, and I tell you, just a few last funny things. Okay, here's something that you'll probably not have in your pantry. Tinned haggis. I always buy this when I'm home visiting my family in Edinburgh in Scotland. I always bring a few tins back with me. Tinned haggis with some mashed potato on the side, or if you've got some carrots, cook those down, mashed carrots and mashed potato. That is comfort food for me. And some of the other fun things that we have these ramen noodles. Now these are already cooked. You can just add them to some stock, and they keep forever. I mean, again, these are good for the next 6 months. So just keep a few fun things in your pantry, so you can, if you're in a pinch, you can make these last minute meals. One of the things that my kids loved when they were younger, and maybe you have these as well where you are, tortilla wraps. Again, they keep for months and months in your pantry, and just layer them up, with some tomato paste and some grated cheese. Make them into a sandwich, fry them or do them in the oven for a few minutes, and then you can cut them into triangles. My kids loved those when they were younger. Okay, well, I hope I've given you some food for thought. Let me know if you have a kind of special easy meal that you make when it's just like the last minute and you don't know what you're going to feed yourself. And remember, go and check out Steph's video. I'll put the link up there. I'm looking forward to seeing what she has in her pantry, because I'm guessing that she has different things in her pantry than what I do here, unless she's got haggis. That would be very surprising. Anyway, live long and prosper. May the Danish hygge be with you, and I shall see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.